Hello, and I'm glad to have you here for another video. Today is actually a special day because I'm driving the awesome, spectacular looking Peugeot 208 and it's electric, so I hope no one out there will hate me after this. Oh yeah, and I brought a baguette just for the French vibes, so join me in the car, will you? I do still have to mount the camera though, so just 1 second.
Just go with the flow. I'm taking it slow, but I just want more. I'm taking it slow. Just go with the flow.
Okay, so all jokes and baguettes aside, this is actually the very first electric car I'm driving on camera. It actually looks like a small car, but once you're inside of it, it feels so spacious, and that is mainly due to the design inside. You feel like kind of cocooned in here, and that's a very pleasant feeling in terms of they could have also just put like a flat dashboard in here and it would have been a completely different experience. The spacious feeling you get also from the panoramic roof here, it all adds to a bit of a more premium experience. And to be honest, this is the very first Peugeot I'm reviewing, and I'm quite impressed with the overall feel of the car. I do have to say, if you start feeling like the buttons and stuff and the build quality of some things inside of the car, they're not the best, but for the category this car is in and the public that the brand Peugeot is trying to approach, this is more than okay, I'd say. Now, one very important thing I have to address when it comes to the pricing of this car is just one question that I have for Peugeot themselves. Why does this car cost 36,000 euros? I know it's a full EV and I know that this is some sort of normal pricing when it comes to buying an EV brand new, but come on, like 36,000 euros for actually one of the smallest Peugeots you can get? Like, that doesn't really add up for me. Like, there's such good cars out there you can buy secondhand for 36k that I would never even consider this car. So if it would be priced around like 25k, 30k maximum, I would say that it is something that could be considered by the general public. But now this car only appeals to like companies, people who actually benefit from driving an electric car. If you're not a big company and just a normal customer, I do not see the point of spending 36k on the smallest Peugeot out there. And okay, it's an EV, but why would you? Like, then you just buy the normal petrol engine. Like, from a pricing point, they're not really making it that approachable for the general public yet. Something that in this specific car adds to the premium experience inside is actually that I have massage seats. So you have 3 buttons down here on the left side of the seat, and the bottom one actually says massage. So I can press that and I'm being massaged in my Peugeot 208, which is not something I would have imagined myself doing. Now, in front of me I have a very minimal dashboard, as most of the modern cars do. It's fully digital, of course, but it's actually something that's being projected upwards, which makes for this funky, like, layered look. So you have your speed first, and then the second layer is like how much energy you're using, how much battery you have left, and then whether the car is actually using energy or regenerating energy. Those are actually the most important things I would want to see when I'm driving my EV, and I have them all right in front of me. So that's actually perfectly laid out. Now, as I just approached this traffic light, I'm gonna try to demonstrate the U-turn capacity of this car, if it ever turns green. There we go. All right, does the job without rear wheel steering though. Would be crazy in a small car like this. As I'm new to the Peugeot brand, I actually like the shape of their steering wheel because it's something completely different when you compare it to, for example, your BMW, your average Mercedes-Benz. They all have these round steering wheels, and I like the kind of different approach from Peugeot to include like almost rectangular steering wheels in these cars. Then next up, I do not only have a nice dashboard in front of me, I also have a lovely screen besides it. Now, I have not been able to play around enough with the Peugeot system itself, but it actually comes with Apple CarPlay, and I can use it while using the cable. And it's especially handy if you want to like switch Apple CarPlay with your passenger, for example. Then you don't have to hassle with the Bluetooth, you just unplug the cable and that's it. And that's actually something old school, but quite handy, to be honest. Now, what doesn't come as a surprise is that the panoramic roof does not open. One hand, yes, it's a bummer. On the other hand, that does allow for the panoramic roof to be a bit larger. You have a bit more light coming in, but of course, no more opening the panoramic roof. Bit of a bummer, but hey. And then once you started the car, you can easily put it into drive with the drive selector in the middle here. It's actually a bit inspired by like the modern day Volkswagen BMW-ish cars. And what is fairly handy compared to most EVs out there is that you actually have a separate button for the brake modus. You just press the B and then it goes into regenerative mode. You can regenerate power by letting go of the throttle, and then it will automatically slow down and brake on the electric engine, so you are regenerating power, if that makes any sense. And then moving on from the drive selector down into the middle here, I have my drive mode selector, which is actually a very handy small button, which you can just press to go either into sport mode, normal mode, which is the one it always starts up in, or eco mode, which is the way to go if you want to get the most range out of your car. I'm actually driving in the eco mode currently, and to be honest, the throttle response is very pleasant in the sense that it's not immediate like in most EVs, and that just slows that down a little bit and gives me a bit more of an authentic feeling that I'm used to from the combustion engines. So that motorcycle came very close, wow. Now, the next important point would be its practicality. But to be able to properly rate it, I took it to our local grocery store a couple of days ago. So enjoy the footage and I'll see you right back. And it's not that big as you can see, so this is gonna be a challenge. Okay, so let's just skip all of the kilowatt per hour for a second, and I'm just gonna tell you what the real range of this car is. For me, in my experience, that was actually from 100% to about 10%, 400 kilometers I could drive, which is, for the class this car is in, actually fairly impressive. I would have only imagined this car to do about 250 kilometers, but 400, that's almost double. Like that's very, very good. Oh yeah, when we arrive at the fast charger, I'll do a quick tour of the exterior as well, because there's some fun details actually on the exterior. What I've also noticed that I quite liked is that since I've been running my daily errands with this car for the past couple of days, I could really appreciate driving a bit of a smaller car instead of always like a big bulky car that you have to take everywhere and that you have to find a parking spot for as well. It also just felt right to do my daily errands with a bit of a more compact car and to keep the larger car for longer distance drives, for during the weekend, for example, and to really use this car throughout the week. I actually quite enjoy doing so. Okay, so now it's charging at this Fastnet facility here. And to just quickly go over the exterior still, you have this nicely colored front grille with the new Peugeot logo there in the middle, a small 208 logo as well. The rims, they actually do look quite fine to me. They have like this unique styling to them, and I actually like the aerodynamic shape to them. A little E logo, not to forget of course that you're driving an EV. And then here you have again the E logo, 208, and then GT because it's a GT line. And actually the rear looks quite good as well. Alright, so the car is now fully charged and I will check back with you on Friday. And just like that, it's Friday. And I'm actually about to film my next video. And it's actually not an electric one, so make sure to stay tuned. Oof, V8 kicking into life. Small teaser. Ooh.